And I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining or watching the replay. Tonight we've got, I ask people for anything that's their passion, and Anne volunteered and said she wants to talk about, started wanting to talk about community, and somewhere I really don't know what it's about, but it's about bringing your heart into the business, from what I understand. And she can correct me if I'm wrong, but you know what? This business and is made for people to lead by your heart. And that's what I've been doing since I took over, and that's what Roxy did. So I'm going to turn it over to Anne, and she can fill us in on the rest of it and share with us.
Cool. Well, thanks for letting me speak, Aaron. So I'm gonna just start like a little bit of my backstory. So I joined Monate in November 2020, when COVID pandemic was absolutely ridiculous and nobody could do anything. And I was working home care, which I loved, but I had to make the decision to leave home care because it was the best decision for my family, because I have so many people in my household with immune disorders and things like that. So that was a really hard decision to make. But I met Jackie Onishko at a vendor event, and we talked, and I hummed and hawed about it. And then I realized, what is there to truly lose in trying a business? Because honestly, you guys, if you don't try, then you've already set yourself up to fail, which I didn't want. So I said to Jackie, I said, you know what, let's go for it. You know, if it works, it works. And I've never looked back, for the simple fact that the community that has been provided through Monate, amongst everything else, the support, the customers that come along with it, the friendships that build, I've never looked back. I've never had a company that I've worked for, and I've worked for many, where I've never had FOMO that I didn't earn a trip, or, that I struggled because I didn't have the support. Monate has been like the best thing for me, not like, not just my hair, because everybody comments my hair a lot, and my skin. People think I'm like 15 years old, and I'm not. Actually, I'll be 30 in September, but I've never had such a confidence boost. And so I guess the whole thing with community is being genuine in your thoughts, and looking at the perspective from your potentials, like, where were they before we crossed paths? How can I be genuine and, approach Monate with them in a way that isn't so salesy and forceful, and get them to feel as we're genuine and we're approaching because we want to build something. We're not just here for the sale. We're not here because we want that rank up. It's building a community with people outside of Monate who eventually do come to Monate. And I've had a couple of people who were like, no, Monate makes your hair fall out, or just they weren't having it until they started to see, that I was showing up, and I was telling them things about, how the support is endless, and it's just the best place to be. Like, there isn't anywhere that I wouldn't want to be. And I honestly, guys, when COVID hit in 2020, I was at a loss. I didn't know what to do, what was going to happen next. And so, honestly, taking the plunge, I met a lot of people, and I've built my own little community. But I've also been fostered into so many others. Like, when I moved to the East Coast, I knew nobody here. And the market partners that are here, I'm so grateful for them because they have fostered me into their community that they have built, even though I'm not on their team. So it's amazing that people, you know, look out for each other and help support people. And that's really what we have to try to do when we're thinking about potentials or working with our VIPs, because we never know where they've been prior to our conversation. So it's it's just really important. And everybody walks a different way of life. Like, we've all been on different journeys and we've all come from some place. And honestly, the best part of our Monet community is it doesn't matter where we've been before, it's where we are now and how we can help ourselves and help others continue to grow. Like, I've had so much personal growth in the last 2 years since joining Monet that I never had before. So right now, that's what I'm trying to instill in all my MPs is to, be genuine, let them know that there's a community here, regardless of where they live, whether they're a customer or a VIP. If they can't get a hold of me, I let them know that there's other people to help, like Jackie or another, say, market partner on the team, or even if there's customers that live close by, like if there's samples that need to go out, like, try to make that connection one way or another, whether it's through you or somebody on your team. But as long as there's a connection, the key thing, and I think in community, is having a connection. If you don't have a connection, then it feels like there's no community, because many people feel like they're stuck in one place and they don't know where to turn, which is the amazing thing about Monet. Like, I've never met Aaron before, and I've never met probably some of you on these calls, but yet here I am talking about community, which is an amazing thing. But yeah, so basically it's just, being genuine with people, showing people support. And it's not even in your Monet conversations, it's liking those Facebook posts about their dog, or if they've had something tragic happen in their life, it's just being there to show support, because people are watching and they will turn around and support you because you're supporting them. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, but they're noticing that you're there, you're showing up, you're showing support. So it's not even just people buying from you for the support, it's the community you're building within your social media, or even your face-to-face communities. All those things help you grow professionally, personally, and they build your community. So that's pretty much all I have to say, Aaron.
So I'm so excited that you did this. Because I can tell that you have grown a lot with this business, and you're able to come on here without any fear and just do it. And so I'm so proud of you for doing it. And I want to thank you so
I'm
much.
not gonna lie, I was nervous, but then I realized, what am I nervous for? We're one big family and we all
Well,
support
I
each
know
other.
I could see you go through that right live, and it was great. So it's great to see the growth on anybody. The thing I wanted to highlight something more about community, because it really got you, what you were saying really got me thinking again. One of the things that I talk about, there's a couple of we talk about Todd Duncan, and Todd Duncan has just announced to be part of Monations. Again, make sure you're going to be in Monations.
Wait, with Tony Robbins?
Yes, with Tony Robbins.
What?
It's just been announced.
Oh my goodness.
John Maxwell will also be back. The 199 sale ends at the end of the month. So really, you want to go reach out to all your people that you kind of want to get there, and talk about it. When have you spent $199 and got training from Todd Duncan, Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, not to mention the leaders that you'll get and the, all the other things. This wasn't a commercial for donations. I just wanted to say that. However, what I really wanted to talk about was when I'm listening to Todd Duncan, John Maxwell, a lot of these leaders talk about community, and even Ray Higdon, in the book that I was listening to over the summer, talks about. You remember when you started talking to somebody about Monat, you found that person and got them interested in the watching your stories or getting on the phone with you, and maybe they became a market partner, or maybe they became a VIP. You kind of became friends with them. You kind of let them in to the community. You opened the door and said, here's part of the community. And it's so important that you remember that's why they started to really follow you and connect with you and trust you, is you are entering and sharing the community with them, so that when you're in the thick of it, remember that's how you got them and really became friends with them in the first place. And don't forget that as your business gets larger, as you want to talk to them about the progress on their business, you want to talk about their goals. Remember to talk about the community and keep talking about the people that you brought in, because it's all part of that community, And one of the things that you said as well is sidelines. You just moved to a new area and you picked up some sideline sisters and you just went with it. And you know what? Rising tide floats all boats. It's so true. It's why we help each other. And this community that we've created inside Monat is like no other. So take advantage of it. Make sure your market partners take advantage of it. Have them watch this video and remember all about it, and put community right in the front of their business, and keep that in mind as we go. Leaving reunion this time was one of the biggest reminders of community that I couldn't even fathom. Just turning around everywhere you go, where you see Monat, or you see somebody that you've talked to on video, you've never touched that person in person, but you've already established that community and you built it, and continues to grow. Anyways, I think that's what I wanted to add. Did anybody want to add anything or want to ask any questions?
I just want to say one more thing, Aaron. So
Okay.
going back to the whole community thing and meeting market partners down where I live, I never met them before. My first experience in person was Monations last year, when we got together at another market partner's house. I had no idea where I was going. I didn't know where anybody was, but they were all sitting on their back deck watching Monations, and I creeped up the stairs, and they all embraced me as I walked up the stairs, and they all said hi, and they were asking questions, and it just felt like I was walking into a whole other family. They weren't just
That's
like, who are
perfect.
you? What are you here for?
That's perfect. And remember that, and embrace them. You're the people that you bring into this business. Don't lose that, and remember that's what it's about. So I want to thank everybody for joining. I want everybody to really pay attention. If you feel that FOMO, make sure you get your plans together for the next reunion. Make sure you're working towards Bahamas. Make sure you're thinking about Monations. These are the things that are going to change your business and continue to allow you to grow. And thanks so much for joining us, and thanks so much for doing this. And I love you guys all, and hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and great rest of your week. All right. Thank you. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye. I'm trying to end.